Obviously, don't be rude, because at that point you're not critiquing, you're just being a Today's video is gonna be a little controversial, but I feel like lately I'm just on this trend of sharing my opinions, and opinions are just that, opinions. They're not called facts, they are what I think. You don't have to agree with me. In fact, feel free to fully disagree and let me know in the comments. First of all, you guys know I love perfume. I've spent an embarrassing amount of money on perfume, but there are some trends within this space that I genuinely think need to be put behind us. And I already know some of you might hate me for some of these opinions, but at the end of the day, that is why they're called opinions. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, the sun will still rise tomorrow. We'll be fine. But I always have to speak my mind, and these are some perfume trends that I think need to be left in the past. Let's get started. This first opinion, I definitely know it's gonna ruffle up some feathers because I've been seeing this a lot recently, and every time it comes up, I feel so strange about it because it's yet another space where I don't think AI should be involved, and that is AI generated thumbnails. I'm sure you guys have seen this a ton. I don't know if it's just me, but every time I see a YouTube video that has an AI thumbnail, first of all, it's so easy to notice. You can clearly tell it's AI, but every time I see that, even if it's something I want to click on, it just turns me off so much that I don't even want to see the video at all. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm holier than thou and say that I've never used AI ever in my life. But I also think that the people that are like, oh, I've never used ChatGPT or AI. Yes, you have. AI is everywhere. Even if you think you've never used it, you've probably used it or come across something that maybe you couldn't even tell was AI. So I'm not trying to be like I'm better than everybody because I don't use AI. But I just do not think in a space like this, especially when it comes to like thumbnails, which is the first thing that people click and it's like their first impression of you essentially. I don't think that that should be AI. When I click on a thumbnail, I want to see you, not your AI generated twin. Which, might I add, they're usually so creepy and it like kind of looks like you, but oh, strange, weird looking version of you, and it creeps me out. These AI thumbnails, especially in the perfume space, have first of all a face that doesn't even look like a human anymore because it's too robotic, too perfect looking in a weird way. You have products that are being advertised on the thumbnail that some of them don't even exist because they're AI generated, but also like it has nothing to do with what you're showing in the video, just completely different products that are being actually talked about in the video. I feel like the imperfections in a thumbnail are what make a video good, in my personal opinion. So I'm just really not a fan of the AI thumbnails. If I see an AI thumbnail, I'm probably not gonna click on the video. Next up, this is another one that's gonna be controversial, especially coming from somebody like me that loves sweet fragrances. But my next controversial opinion is that I don't like that everything that's coming out now is all about vanilla. I love vanilla just like the next person, maybe even more. I'm obsessed with sweet perfumes, you guys know this. But because I think maybe the majority of people love vanilla, these brands are hopping on this trend, and now every single release is vanilla. And it's just getting to a point where it's just, we need originality. We're lacking originality. Vanilla went from being one fragrance note among thousands to now pretty much becoming the entirety of the perfume industry. And I just want to reiterate, I don't hate vanilla. I'm just tired of vanilla constantly being the default nowadays. At this point, it feels like these brands are afraid of coming out with something that is not sweet, or that it doesn't have some sort of gourmand component, because vanilla is just the safe option and they know it will be successful. Can we make interesting perfumes? You can still have vanilla in it, but don't make that be the entirety of the perfume, because we're oversaturated, we're drowning in vanillas. It gets to a point where too much of a good thing is not a good thing. And for me, again, this is just me, I'm at this point where I'm like, okay, I'm over this now. And then similarly to that, it's literally thundering, I guess. The earth is agreeing with me. But similarly to the whole vanilla trend is the whole everything needs to smell like dessert trend. Now we have perfumes that are inspired by, I don't know, popcorn, dessert, like literal desserts, all of these confection delicious things, don't get me wrong, and I have some of them in my own collection. I love gourmands, but do I really need to smell like a bakery, like a walking bakery? I always make this statement in my videos. When it comes to gourmands, I like a gourmand that still feels perfumey. I want to still smell like perfume at the end of the day. I don't want to smell like I just worked a 12-hour shift at the bakery. Now I'm coming home, so I'm just like in that smell. Maybe that's PTSD because I was a dessert girl, so this was kind of me, but I just don't want to smell all the way like food, because at that point, I mean, I'll just go and smear a chocolate chip cookie all over me and call it a day. You know what I mean? Like, why do I need a perfume to do that? We went from, oh, I smell like a vanilla perfume, to now we're smelling like literally this dessert. We don't need to be that literal. Maybe somewhere in the middle. There should still be perfumey aspects to perfumes, in my opinion. I feel like the perfect example of this, and I keep talking about this perfume, it makes me sound so sponsored, but I'm not sponsored. I am not getting paid to say this. I just really, really love this, especially because this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. But the Skylar True Love's Cake, that is a perfect example of what I mean. When I want to smell gourmand and sweet and delicious, but also it has a perfumey aspect to it. There's some florals, but it still maintains that creamy gourmand. It's just not all the way food. I hope I'm making sense, especially because I'm a gourmand lover, so I'm not bashing on the entirety of gourmands and vanillas because I love these scents myself. I just don't think that every single release needs to be this. Next controversial take is I do not like that everything needs to be duped. I think it's great that we have dupes out there, and it's the whole originality thing. I'm okay if there's, you know, just those few certain brands that dupe perfumes, and you know that's what they do, and it's great because they're coming out with all these dupes, but we don't need every single brand to become a dupe house. Sometimes I get excited when a new brand comes out, like in Target or whatever, and then I go and smell and I'm like, okay, these are all dupes though. Dupes that already exist. Dupes that have already been duped. If it's already been duped by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brands, we don't need yet another dupe of it. Sometimes it's okay to just come out with original perfumes. It's more exciting because, again, we are saturated in the dupes. Not saying that this is a bad thing. I think it's incredible that we have these affordable options of really, really expensive perfumes. But I think we're at a point where we have enough dupe houses, and dupe houses that do dupes very, very well, that we don't need more and more and more and more dupe houses duping the exact same perfumes that have already been duped. This one always irks me, and it's the same with makeup, I feel like, but it's that perfumes have to match a certain aesthetic. When we had strawberry makeup, pistachio makeup, what was it, like latte makeup, everything has to have this name, and now your perfume also has to match your aesthetic. Clean girl makeup, it girl makeup, coquette makeup, dark feminine makeup. I've done these videos too. I've done videos of like whimsical perfumes, sexy perfumes. I just feel like the internet has turned fragrance into aesthetics, which it's fun, but it can also be very restrictive. You don't have to be coquette to wear a sweet girly perfume. Just like you don't have to be dark, sexy, vampy, femme fatale to wear a perfume with, I don't know, oud or sexy woodsy notes. Perfumes don't have to match your Pinterest boards or how you look that day, like what you're wearing. Just wear what you like at the end of the day. We don't have to put labels and titles and names to everything. Another trend that I think needs to die is blind buy culture. We're getting too comfortable recommending that people blind buy $200 perfumes. Even $100, even $50 perfumes. I just hate how nowadays people are casually recommending that you blind buy a $200 plus fragrance. Why are we telling people to blind buy a perfume that costs more than a grocery bill? And I am victim to this as well because I always wanted the full bottle. I blind bought something without ever sampling. Sampling is becoming a lost art, and I am back to the whole sampling thing because that's how you fall in love with perfume. Blind buying is just accumulating the dopamine of it all. It's like those blind boxes. That's exactly what blind buying perfume is, because you don't know what you're gonna get. It's that first impression that you get, but afterwards, what if you don't like it? It's not like you can return every single perfume that you open. Once it's open, a lot of places will not accept returns. So what do you do when you don't like an over $200 perfume, even $100 perfume? Any amount of dollars, if you don't like it, is money wasted. See, they're agreeing. Sampling is becoming way less exciting because people just want that instant full bottle purchase. A lot of these are from my own experiences. I used to be this person that chased blind buying, and it was such a high, it was so exciting. I'm coming out of that, and so that is why I'm making all these videos, maybe hoping that more people will kind of wake up to this. You don't need to be blind buying. You can still sample perfumes. That is the best way to fall in love with perfume. Another trend that I think needs to die is the whole if there's a new release, it's a must-have. You need it. It's this urgency. This is all a marketing scheme. It's these brands' way of creating urgency in you to just get up and go and buy it because it just came out and look, everybody has it. I did a whole video on this about how not to fall for the hype of all the new releases, so I'm gonna link that up here because I think that could be really helpful if you feel like you constantly have to keep up with every new release. But I just hate how when a new perfume release comes out and it's literally like the most basic, like I said, it's like yet another vanilla, but suddenly everyone is acting like perfume was invented yesterday. It's like this new shiny thing when this thing has already been done a trillion times before. All these constant releases are creating FOMO in people, even when there's literally nothing new or exciting about that perfume. It's just a new marketing scheme, not a new perfume. I feel like this could literally be an experiment. They can put the exact perfume, the actual liquid perfume, into perfumes, but they can create so much urgency in both just from the marketing, the packaging, yet the liquid, which is literally why you buy perfume. The perfume itself is the exact same, but people will go feral for both launches. And I think that that's what's happening today. I think the best way to get out of that is, I mean, if you are excited about it, go and smell it. Just go and smell it so you can kind of put that excitement past you, because if you smell it and you're like, I already have this, you immediately won't want it anymore, rather than when you don't even know what it smells like, you will want it because you don't know. And it's like that unknowing that gets you excited, and then your dopamine rises, and it's a slippery slope. That's why we get excited about all the new releases, not because they're actually new and innovative and that we need them. You probably already have it in your collection. That just again brings me back to sample, 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 test, get travel sizes, don't just rush to the big bottle. And my last point is layering. Hear me out on this. I love layering. I still do it to this day. It makes fragrance so fun, and you can create something completely different and unique just by layering. I'm not saying all layering is bad. What I don't like is when we're kind of encouraging that people buy 25 different products to layer because we're like, oh, this will make it last forever. You need this, you need a base coat, like you need your shower gel to be the same scent, like it's got to be strawberry. Then you need a strawberry lotion to put on top to seal it. Then you need a strawberry body oil. Then you need a strawberry body spray. Then you need a strawberry perfume to top it all off. And it's just like, you just recommended like 12 different products that literally one perfume could do the same job. It's wasteful at the end of the day. I think it's fun, don't get me wrong. But if you want to layer, you can easily layer with just like 2 products max. You don't need like 12 products to be layered on top of each other, because even just 2, even just 1 sometimes will do the job and last forever. It's not like just because you have 25 different products, now you're gonna make this scent last on you forever. I love layering when there's actually a reason behind it. If I'm layering a perfume that I already own, but I just wanna tweak it and add this note or this note with another perfume or a body spray that makes it either creamier, muskier, fresher, sweeter, whatever, then I'm totally here for that. The problem is when every single perfume requires like a 10-step routine to reach that scent. If your perfume only smells good after you've spent over $150 on shower gels and lotions and body oils and body sprays, then maybe you just don't need that perfume at all. Just get a perfume that performs really well on its own. You don't need to buy all these products because you're just being wasteful. And it's just being masked by the layering trend. We don't need to be doing algebra. Spray 3 times X this perfume, 2 times Y this oil, 1 spray of this on your left wrist, 1 spray behind your right kneecap, then reverse it on the right. Like, ma'am, I'm going to work, not performing a perfume ritual. I think with everything, it's fun and great until we take it to a point where it's excessive and too much. And with a lot of things, I think we've gotten to that point where it's just extremely excessive. So those are my controversial takes and opinions. Some trends that I think we need to leave behind. Obviously, I don't think anything's gonna change. This is one video. I'm just one person. These are my opinions. If you don't agree with me, you can share your own opinions in the comments. That's why the comments are there. We can have a conversation. Obviously, don't be rude, because at that point, you're not critiquing, you're just being a I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know all your opinions in the comments down below. But that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn your post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!